Why didn't that disappear this time? Cut. Okay. There we go. Shut that. Got water. Ready to go. It's time for Ace Attorney. What happened? We were losing. Trial 5 is a lot more demanding logic-wise. Anything before it. Yeah, there we go. Shut that. Got that there. That's good. Okay. Down. Ace Attorney. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 2. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Failing miserably? Yes. Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface. But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Yeah, pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister, anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judges' chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel that tiny, insignificant, to tell you the truth. Hola. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a human, at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come to take a look, see how the trail's going. Looks like I'm late. Trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there, anyway? All the police I've seen the last 2 days have been really on edge. Oh, fuck! Fucking Marshall. He's taken over Phoenix. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow back at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Courtroom number 4. District Court, Courtroom number 9. Fuck, I don't know where this is gonna go. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continue on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. Oh, slipping into Von Karma. It seems the prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? Who are you? What the fuck? What's with this guy? Strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Ah, it's you. Oh, sorry I'm late, Aishi. Roads are packed, it's me. Long time no see, IG. How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy smidgy, IG. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. IG seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Ah, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy. Mr. Wright. You don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? That's a chief of police? He's a top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant, Damon Grant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since your last came to the courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed with that exhaust pipe. A little worthy's car, no less. What the fuck? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth! How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that the signature here is Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had my head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. I wish the text was faster, goddammit. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh. The court accepts as new evidence. We'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to make a point at people. I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Oh, it's forcing me. What? Oh, God. Ugh, don't scare me like that. I'm not one who's scared. Look at that knife blade. The tip is broken off. Dark red stain. Blood? Knife blade knife added to the court record. Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. A small tag attached. Broken blade. A broken bloody blade. Can I examine it more? There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? That's SL9 incident exhibit 2? That's the, yeah. That's how incident and evidence is written. Not sure. It reminds me of a similar code. DL6, maybe it's a case number. Yeah. That's weird. What? I don't remember where... But I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe we should check the court record again. SL92. $212. February 12th, SL92. It's that there, Goodman's note. So, a note from the office of Goodman giving a case number, I presume to Lana Skye. So Goodman was there to pass off evidence to Lana? Why is he stuffed in the trunk of Edward's car? The fuck? SL92. $221. $221. That's the date of the murder. So the day of the murder, either Lana was handing off evidence to Goodman, or Goodman was handing off evidence to Lana. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. Terribly sorry, but I could ask you to testify for us about the split between prosecutors and the police, and this knife. Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Department in disorder. Witness testimony. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove the connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it. There. There was a murder at the police department? A detective?
That's hush-hush information, Nudgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15.
That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order, order, order.
Anyway, we at the police department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top-secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. Chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course.
Hold on. $5:15. So Goodman was killed at the police department? Stuffed into Edgeworth's trunk? And then Edgeworth drove the body to the prosecutor's office? I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Department in disorder. Cross-examination. Special, but I can't say how here. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on at the police department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can. Really, Righto?
Evidence that links this knife to the Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. Finding a piece of evidence that's has me stumbled this time. So how are things at the department? Wait a second.
Ah, at last! An honest-to-goodness objection!
This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean?
Aha! An honest-to-goodness what do you mean from Mudgy? This is great!
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12-2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on this memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Ah. Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's is written on this knife's tag. Order, order. Well, Chief.
Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto.
I win? Ah. What game is this guy playing? Knife is evidence that was stolen in a case from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen?
Yes, but on the day of the murder.
It was evidence, you say? Was it, in fact, a murder weapon?
Nice, nice, nice. Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen the day of the murder. It was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car?
Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
$5:15, a murder occurred. Five... 5:15? But that's... when Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. What?
Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances?
Coincidence? It's just my gut feeling. I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. How can you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can just say anything I please, righto? You understand?
Try to understand, righto?
Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together.
Whatever it is, better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office. One at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? Better check this knife out. Again? I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. Fuck. God damn it. Check, don't present. I checked the knife out. What am I... Ah! That's for rotating. I can zoom in too. So this knife was stolen. Blood on this knife. Parking lot. Picture taken by Angel Star. Sister's blood. Goodman's blood.
got a good look in your eyes there, right, my boy? Sharp, hungry.
So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed?
Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Aji?
I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Raito.
I suppose it could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
We know when the victim died. We know where the how was the victim killed? Well, how was the detective killed?
How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force called a stabbing with a knife.
A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman.
That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same.
What do you mean?
There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of the death.
Seems like I'm gonna have to press this a bit harder. What are the chances? Coincidence. How can you say there's no connection? How? This knife isn't the case, stolen from the department's evidence room. I think I'm lost again. Can I just press the statement more? Oh, I can just ask again. Okay, good, yeah. Where was the victim found specifically? So tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
Evidence room? Wait a second.
have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? His knife was evidence case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy. We just got handed a ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we can finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Do I just press him there? I press him again. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Yeah, okay, yeah, I just pressed him. Good. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
Connection is a place mentioned at the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number of the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get that information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? Can't believe that worked. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well. Guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Victim's ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? Not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't even tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. That is Detective Goodman's number.
Well, that's quite long.
And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts.
82... I can't do it.
Didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number on the victim at the police department. 5842189. This tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
Has to be what I think it is. What does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered. At one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 8 too. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, ho, ho, ho! Sharp as a tack, righto! Sharp as a tack! Wait, Detective Goodman is our victim! He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible! So what we're saying here is, the same person was killed at the same time, in a completely different location. Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm a prosecutor in charge of this case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me, he said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Ugh. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error of gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report in this morning's court, this morning to court as evidence. Then I... No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on the trial. How is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! Damn it, this takes so long, and I just click ahead. It seems we've come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. It's the last thing I do. You better get results this time. Really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. What? What are you talking about? Do you not remember the murder of Gregory Edgeworth? The 15-year murder! The 15-year case! What are you talking about, Judge? Will that be sufficient? I can't talk. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. To be continued. Well, fuck. That was not as long as I thought it was going to be. You know, that was 41 minutes. That was quite a bit. Fucking hell. So, we have a witness that says Lana Skye murdered Bruce Goodman in the prosecutor's office. But the police conducted an investigation and found that Bruce Goodman was instead murdered at the police department evidence room. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What's going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot, in the police department's evidence room. What is this and the evidence room part? Prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. They're 30 minutes away by car on a good day. Mr. Edgeworth got there... So the murder had to have happened at 4:45 then. To be stuffed in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Murder would have to have happened at 4:45. Then Edgeworth drove from there to the parking lot with Lana Skye on his heels. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. February 23rd, prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot. No, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed there in the evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says she didn't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, water in that oil drum washed it all away. Heh? Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is... luminol testing fluid. Luminol? That's like an actual thing. I remember that from, I think, CSI or something. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. Wouldn't the police have already done this test? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing blood stains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You got an extra pair of those things? Oh, fuck. Test for blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some blood stains. You can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So, Is this a blood stain? It's so... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood... Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we'll definitely know what this is... Well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. What do you mean? Seeing real blood? Like, it's not visible to the naked eye. Doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this? Scientifically. Amount of blood. Perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? Definitely think so. I mean, look at all this blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there would have to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright? I'm gonna mark up the floor where we found the bloodstain, okay? See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. Saved up my allowance to buy that. Oh, I feel bad about using it now. Lumino testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Skye. These are cute. I like these. Can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah. Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Oh! Angel! I wonder how that fluid of yours will react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This stale deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't really get my mouth watering. Oh, fuck. Today's trial. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from the security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see? I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood. That testimony still stands. Angel saw Skye stabbing Detective Goodman. So, Edgeworth's knife through the chest wasn't what killed Goodman. How did Goodman die? Name of deceased, Bruce Goodman, 36 male. Time and date of death, February 21st, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood from a chest wound. Assessment. Wound was caused by a 4 to 5 inch knife. Single stab wound was found. Why did Lana Skye stab Bruce Goodman's corpse? So Bruce Goodman was stabbed through the chest with a knife at the evidence room in the police department. He was stuffed into Edgeworth's car, and then 30 minutes later, at 5:15, Edgeworth dropped off his car at the prosecutor's office. Lana Skye came in, propped up Bruce Goodman's corpse, and then planted Edgeworth's knife into his chest. So we don't have the murder weapon. Unless the old knife was used to kill Goodman. Ah.
I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt under the nose of suspect after suspect. And before long they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go. Fired? I felt I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be on one today. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... what do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know? Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over, not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident?
Alright, fuck, I guess you don't want to tell us more about the SL9 incident. Edgeworth? Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. Guess we'll have to come back. I doubt Lon is here, but let's see. Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning. Hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Grant say they'd arrested a suspect of the police department murder? Let's come back later. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder and a detective down in the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Ugh, makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up, or we could wind up dead. I don't know if anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's gonna help us much either. Apartment entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. The detective did get killed here after all. So the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. She's like a kid in an amusement park. Oh, real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Didn't you say you're terrible with blood? Guard station. Well, I think we know who's here. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. Scene of the crime? Sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? Those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. You can't handle cacti. Stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this guard station... This is the guard station. Where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yipes, these sure are prickly. Must be the real deal. I think just one big one would suffice. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I could see the resemblance. It's more like an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard's uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. Leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? Paunchy. Pinchy. I know, a poochie. Wait a minute, that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. No, not gonna say anything about all these bottles, eh? Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. Bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and went out there. So let's do it. Evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. Won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Look at the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. This swinging door makes this place look like some kind of saloon. But look at it. It's nailed shut. You can't get in this way. Of course not. If you went through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say more of a yuck myself. Alright, well, we can't get in there. Must be the chief of detectives. Bluetooth computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room. Tell no one outside the police department. No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's getting a demotion. Must be one of the detectives, mumbling something to himself. I know, the killer used dry ice. He put it between the latch and the door. The room could be sealed shut. This is good. I'm gonna write his word for sure. He's not writing a report. He's writing a novel. I don't think they're gonna be much help. Parking lot. Slide. On the note. So why won't you tell me about... Ah, fuck it. Is Edward... No, Edward's not here. Move. 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 Where do I go? I think I've seen everything here. What do I do? I'm confused. Am I missing a prompt? Like, am I just dumb? What am I missing? This is dumb. I've got a walkthrough open just in case I fuck something up royally. Present. Goodman's ID. I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in the parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish you could be so sure. For the love of God. What else can I present? Represent the crime photo.
Think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes.
So you went straight to the scene of the crime?
I rushed toward the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes.
In other words, 5 minutes after the crime?
Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were.
Those 5 minutes that weren't the problem. Miss Star, you lying was the problem.
Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time.
That time? Now will you talk about it? For the love of God! Why did I have to... Oh, for fuck's sakes.
That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them, disposable.
Disposable to who?
2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled.
Marshall. Goodman. What the fuck is that?
The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence.
So, they didn't solve it?
On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed.
Executed?
Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. Doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find the decisive evidence, not a shred.
What? But the criminal was executed, right?
On the basis of evidence, of a sort. Made up evidence.
What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence?
The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job.
And you were one of those.
Myself, and one other person you know well.
Wait, could it be...
Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over. He was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I.
You haven't forgotten SL9?
There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we were after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us.
Wait. Those lunches you sell.
There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate.
Miss Star's old boyfriends. What did she have anyway? So when all the detectives on SL9 disappeared, we find out new evidence. Has to be a connection.
So, rookie?
What?
It seems like you're serious about investigating this case.
Yes.
Then you should take this.
A Salisbury steak lunch?
I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat.
Steak lunch received from Miss Star. Received from Miss Star. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Miss Star. Officer Marshall, is he your, Are you his... Are you going out?
Why do you want to know?
I'm just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, When he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He get along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now, he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall, Attention Center. Move. Criminal Affairs Department. Move. Police Department entrance. There we are. 23rd Police Department. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Police! Huh? Wasn't that... One steak lunch, please. Oh, 2. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of those... You mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Aw, Gumshoe. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? The same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed in the police department? And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there's a suspect. Just arrested him, matter of fact. It's the biggest scandal that hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. You wanna know more? Head down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Did they arrest Marshall? Third, Detention Center. Vidder's room. So they do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. What the fuck? What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say that was against perpetrating this, sir. I say I was the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, me. Yeah, hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, just like a little lost lamp, sir. Oh, I get it. Here to deliver a report? No, sir, how should I say this? Wait. He isn't... Is he? You. Officer Meekins. You didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Why the fuck was Meekins arrested? Check in with our guard. This guard monitors the visitor's room. Seeing a fellow patrolman here must make him worry about his own fate in life. No comments from the peanut gallery. Sir! I'm a patrolman with criminal affairs, sir! Sir! Ow! I can hear you fine, Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because the evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person, yeah! Meekins, have you handcuffed yourself to your tie? The heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white, sir. I saw red, I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could, wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. About your hand. What happened during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But but there was nothing I could do! Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, what had happened? When the detective pointed that knife at me, I just held it, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock! Oh, the sorrow, sir! Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. I don't mean to pry, but are you the perpetrator? You are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me the victim! I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive as well, and well, at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. You know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you don't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light and other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Officer Meekins, this is for you. Yeah, I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. I was an apple, sir, in my dream, sir, and I was being peeled. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacted to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. What do you think about this knife? Officer Meekins, this is for you. Yeah, I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night. That's the one. Don't look at the knife. What do you think of Blue Badger? Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir. I'm really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should try to ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Passing the buck, Mr. Wright. Take a special kind of man, pass the buck to Edgeworth. Meekins knows nothing about the note. Anything about this? Hey, why do you have that? That's from the day that from the day it was taken at the prosecutor's office. The day that Detective Goodman's body was found in the trunk. So this means I'm a free man, innocent. If this is a dream, sir, then I hope I never wake up. If this is a dream, you'd better wake up right now. Officer Meekins. Don't know anything about the victim's shoe. Oh, let's see. Goodman's autopsy report. Don't know anything about the autopsy. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir, that's it, that's it! What? That's what? My head was blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remembered, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct, that was the card that caused all of it. This ID card? Exactly, sir, that's it. Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say that I'm a little lost patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't doubt Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show you his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped it and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words. That's not right. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I woke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma?
Let's look at what we know now. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, who he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And this body just disappeared from the evidence room. Well, we don't even know if anyone actually died.
That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines.
Huh? But you still ended up here.
They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said.
But you don't remember the events clearly.
No, but the videotape is quite clear.
Huh? Videotape?
From the security camera. The crime! My crime! The crime I swore to stamp out! That's there. It's me on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, sir. Really sorry. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it.
No, thanks. I have my own. Well, I guess we better go check out the crime scene. So, what the fuck? Meekins, what the fuck did you do? Criminal affairs. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detective's desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers. Under seat cushion, behind the computer monitor, inside this personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief Detective looks a little flustered. Aha, righto, my boy. How have you been? Swim much? Oh ho ho! Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on the turf. On their turf, too, I mean. Their being the prosecutors, I mean. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And in this particular, well, it's a little sensitive. And I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, I can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the Chief of Detective's trap shut. Aha, he was the one who we were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that, whoops. I wonder what it was the Chief wanted, that he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do. Let's see what we can kind of discreetly ask him. Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know. They're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year.
You mean the incident on Cord Lake?
It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right? Righto?
On Karma.
A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence.
Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence.
In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what the inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What?
Oh, sorry I had to see that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? I'll see over there. That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. Took away every last piece of garbage on that desk can. Took away every last piece of garbage in that trash can. Nothing belongs to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. I didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. Lost item? Detective Goodman lose something? Date on it is February 21st. Better make note of that just in case. Goodman's lost item report card added to the court record. Half-written document dated 21st. Commonly submitted to the Chief of Police. Should really get back to investigating Police Department crime scene. Date lost. Lost on the day he was reporting it. Name Bruce Goodman. 5. He scratched at the 9. How did he fuck up his own item lost? Stash report. Goodman's item. Goodman started with 5-8. Hold on. We have to see what that video shows. Goodman was starting to write up a lost item report. Someone was trying to steal evidence. And it wasn't Goodman. They had Goodman's ID. They assaulted Officer Meekins. So someone in the prosecutor's office was posing as Detective Goodman, assaulted Officer Meekins, and went to submit a report for a lost item? Why were they trying to steal the knife from the SL9 incident? Was it Marshall? Well, shit. Move. Present him with some evidence. What do you think about Goodman? I was wondering, did you take a look at this? Sorry, right out. Through with that stuff, through, I say. Go find a guy who can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one. He can't seem to sit still. Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or Dancing Blue Badger. I was wondering, did you take a look at this? Sorry, Redo. Check the steak lunch. Why not? Oh, my mouth is watering. I can almost hear the sound of steak frying on the grill. No doubt it's all cold and tough by now. I'm sure it's delicious. There's star porter heart into making this. As long as she didn't put any other organs in there. Let's see. Ingredients: meat. She must mean beef. Probably just wrote it generically. Yeah, let's hope so. Of course, as a scientist, I have to check what additives she used. Go to town. Huh? It says here, hours of sweat and labor. So that's why the sauce is so salty. That's kinda gross. It's some kind of code, I'm sure of it. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of the blue badger? Version Ender. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. I never thought the day would come when Raito asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now, Raito.
Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate after all.
Raito, please, do I look like a selfish man?
Huh?
Heck, if anyone asked me to Sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them 50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. It just goes to show, you never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this.
Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along now and do your best. Later, folks.
Oh, that was easy.
It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it?
Just think, a real ID. You seem happy.
Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir.
I think this place is bad influence on the girl. Move. Department entrance. Move. Guard station. Move. Nope. Examine. Evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader's turned off, see? What is the security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, well. What's made my Bambina sky so gray?
It's always so funny when Marshall shows up. I love it.
Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him we look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw! Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. Crime scene's awaiting. Look, the card reader's been on again. While we're here, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us, hombres. Well, have you considered me bribing you? That smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is that from my baby? Yeah, Miss Star. What's this? What? What's wrong? A fillet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Miss Star told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of a crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 with Miss Star, are you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyway? I've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you'd better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals, too. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins was at the detention center told us. Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy. I kept getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. Since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago. I might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down to the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. No need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take the machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli that they sneak in next to your steak, you know? I know maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? Must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steak. Easiest ones to understand here are the security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. Nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? Why are they erased every few hours? What are you talking about? Reckon they might be. You're a security guard, you reckon? One more thing. We go into the evidence room. Need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. Card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. This is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. Can't show you more than that. Huh? Haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Sorry, but could you explain the whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept in here under the presiding detective supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? What happens when the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault in the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. See now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. Why was there no transferal in... Why was there no transferal in DL6? That's a 15-year-old case that was solved. 2 years after a case is solved, closed forever, dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. That happened to SL9 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Oh, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this, 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look, the 4th number, it's a perfect match. So, Detective Goodman was dead by 5:15. Hold on. So, Detective Goodman was dead by 5:15. That's when... So Goodman was long dead by the time he got to the prosecutor's office, and Lana Skye stabbed him with an Edgeworth's knife. So, why then... So someone was definitely impersonating Detective Goodman. But how did his ID card end up at the prosecutor's office later? So either... It couldn't have been Lana Skye. Yeah, it makes no sense for Lana Skye to have been Detective Goodman's murderer. Because Lana Skye would have been discovering Goodman's body at the same time of... No, she was planting the knife in Goodman's body at the same time the Goodman imposter was there at the evidence room. So who killed Detective Goodman then? So 5:14 was the time that Officer Meekins was assaulted. So we can place Detective Goodman's corpse, Lana, and Angel Skye, or Angel Star. We can place all of them at the prosecutor's office. At the police department was Officer Meekins and someone pretending to be Detective Goodman, who was in the process of stealing evidence? No. It couldn't have been he stole evidence then. How did the knife and the muffler get into the... How did the knife and the Okay. What the fuck? So, the knife that Meekins pulled... The knife that was pulled on Meekins somehow ended up wrapped in Lana Skye's muffler and stuffed into the tailpipe of Edgeworth's car. Lana had recognized us at the crime scene? But she didn't have her muffler then. But there's blood, there's Lana's blood on... What the fuck? Used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. When the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. Wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man who displayed his ID card. She asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. Did he do it? That's the thing, suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? So someone impersonating Officer Goodman. So Lana Skye could have had his ID card. So was it someone was trying to steal evidence? Okay, so hold on. Not Goodman was trying to steal evidence. Right? Because there's no way Detective Goodman would fuck up his own ID card. Right? His own ID number. On the lost item report. No way Goodman would have fucked that up himself. But somehow, Goodman's ID card. And Goodman's corpse ended up in Edgeworth's trunk. Someone impersonating Goodman showed up at the office. Oh, what the fuck, I don't know. Alrighty, compadre, you in. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. So that last one should be Meekins. Oh, it fills it in too. Lovely. So we can have an idea who stole evidence then. Five, 4985 4989596. That's Officer Meekins. He came in immediately after Bruce Goodman and asked to see ID. But he was also in at 4:50 p.m.? What the fuck, Meekins? Someone was in 10 minutes before him and 20 minutes before that. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation here must be over. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Ah! Whoa! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts in the head, pal. So it's true what I heard. Righto, please do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire, and knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant. We'll loan anyone $50, even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room floor plans, added to the court record. Thank you, Gumshoe. Very thoughtful of you. I've got a lot of fucking evidence. So it hooks around to the left. What's shaking? So Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day. That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I want to take control and put this case to rest. My own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Ah, of course. I'm a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you'd call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That's what was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. You can get him to tell us more about that case. This is more high-tech than you think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Oh, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Well, I am on my third card since entering the force already. Gumshoe. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. A lock in each locker is coded with fingerprint. So only locker we can open is our own. Gumshoe. Is that your locker, Gumshoe? Who's that, cutie?
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handle, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handle is a sensor. If the wrong person touches it, zap, you get a shock. That's what happened. My hand would be black and spoken every day. In any case, locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. The indicator lamp lights up when it's opened. Gumshoe, what do you think about this? Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife.
But Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone.
Because the SL9 connection?
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. It was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
Why would the evidence from that case turn up now?
I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case.
Did you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here the other day. Came in here the day of the stabbing.
I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa!
What is it?
That second number.
It's not your ID, is it, Detective Gumshoe?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Miles Edgeworth, 8730579. So, someone with 7777 came in at 420. Blaze it. 20 minutes later, Edgeworth showed up. 10 minutes later, Meekin showed up. 24 minutes later, Bruce Goodman shows up, and then Meekins is hot on his heels. Victim Shu. You don't know anything.
He tells about the Blue Badger. It's my crown and achievement, my masterpiece, you might say. But art is always misunderstood, pal.
Art?
He was dancing proudly on the day of the award ceremony. There were a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony. So they took the Blue Badger away for a while.
Really? Why?
Oh, they said he was being shameful or something like that. Shameful? I toiled night and day.
I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe. But I can't see why they moved it. I can see why they moved it. Secret numbers, you can never relax. Only because you always lose your card.
I always forget my secret number 2. Scary, huh? Face should be ID enough. What's the word coming to?
Examine some stuff. What's this? Wow, look at the big pile of junk in the corner. Looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Hey, it's one of those human profiles for the range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Stuffed evidence full of dreams. Not sure about the dreams. Won't open. Do you really think it would?
Hey pal, our security is top here. Our security is high tech around here.
Some sort of bulky equipment has gathered dust here. What a sorry looking fishing boat that is.
Ah, that's my personal pole.
Oh yeah! There's metal detector too. Metal detector, fishing pole.
Never did get around to using it.
Wait, I've seen that somewhere before.
Right, pal, that's the metal detector. The one that led to solving the case at Ungord Lake, remember?
Oh right. Wow, it feels like ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before.
Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving this case sooner or later.
That cheap-looking box?
Can't judge a person by a machine or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. What's this? Blood! That's a little warm. It's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright. What if there are other bloodstains left in this room? Should use her testing fluid to check it out. Wow, something must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal. Make me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently the case. The case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of those pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before, whatever. Oh no, it sounds like a minigame. You want to try to put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. It's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom, so let's try putting the rest on top. Oh, tits. Okay, I see how it is. Combine. Nope. Sure. There we go, that bit there. That bit there. That bit there. That bit there. And that bit there. Missing a piece. Huh? I think we did it. Some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I thought they were missing to begin with. Still, doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. And I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar. Sharp pieces back together from the fragments found in the crime scene. Pieces missing. Someone left a glove here, but only one. It's on line 11. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? Here you go, pal. Make me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. Must mean SL9. It does have a tag on it. Oh, I've got so much evidence! Paint. What is the sun paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art. I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we are witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here? In the evidence room. Gumshoe. Look, this one's open. The red indicator light up above the door is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Take Goodman's locker.
You sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it.
It's empty. Must have taken the contents elsewhere.
So much of this. Spray wildly.
Handprint. Examine. I knew it. This is someone's right handprint.
Right handprint. Lana?
What? What's the matter, detective?
This locker. It's mine.
It's yours?
Please. You have to help me when they come in to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I won't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. Jot it down on the floor plans.
I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police.
What? But you're a detective!
I don't think they're gonna haul you away to Gumshoe, but
I spy another handprint. Why am I getting a reaction here? No reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant.
Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. Let's borrow $50 from the chief.
Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Anywhere else obvious? Can I just use this? A lot of blood on the floor. A lot of blood on the floor. It must have been one massive pool of blood. I've never seen anything like it. Not a professional. What's your opinion, detective?
Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien.
Let's prove that something really happened in front of this locker. Make a note of it on the floor plan.
Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
I wanted your opinion, detective. Ah, I clicked out. What do you know about SL9?
No, that was a bloody violent case.
Violent? So it was a murder?
A serial killing.
Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this, after all.
The killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nail him.
This was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. And started the rumor mill.
Rumors? But forged evidence?
It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So that switchblade knife. The victim took that knife out of the evidence locker himself.
Hey, pal, look at the time. Something you need to do.
Was there something you need to be going to?
Just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give him my report for the day.
What the fuck is that?
Might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of the flyer? One that says nothing but no problems?
Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can make use of a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
Probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what happens. Move. Apartment entrance. Move. Parking lot. Move. Pension center. Hey, Meekins, what do you make of this? Officer Meekins, can you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir. I'm really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe that's Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Well, fuck you, Meekins. You're a murderer. How about that? Prosecuting parking lot. I have no idea how these are connected. I'm clicking through randomly. Our prosecutor's office. 1202. Bellboy. Guess. My apologies. Oh, it's you. We met somewhere. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth. I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right? He's at a hotel bringing him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. You brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who will believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. You okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however. Something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. Police department? Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you, why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Hey, Edgy. What do you think about... What do you think about this? Oh, right. Better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went to the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep here in the prosecutor's office. AI-16. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with his current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. Better make note of it. It's from past case of Edgeworth, brought back to his office by Grant's request. Stubborn as always. I told you, this has nothing to do with the current case. What do you think about this? Right, please, I'm a prosecutor on this case. Don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. Right, Mr. Edgeworth said no, in a very polite manner. What about this? What about this? No. What about this? What's this about? What about this? Nope. I have no good evidence to show him. Luminol. What about this? Oh, fuck! Damn it! Let's talk about his father's murder in that elevator. Shit. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, I wasn't paying attention. Could you say that again? I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right? What else to do with that case you were on? The SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Nope, stop. I need to stop presenting shit. Duck. Allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. Head of the investigation that day was Deputy Chief of Police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth. What I want to know is why was Chief Deputy Police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won a guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. Didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, we might have use of this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take a powder in these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. I'll give these to Detective Gumshoe as well. What? No faith in Gumshoe. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint on somewhere. Thank you, Edgeworth. I will be seeing you later. Move. Department entrance. Move. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Wow. Check. Ooh. Fancy stuff. Can't just use it as I please. Back. Move. Guard station. Evidence room. 22nd. February 23rd. Evidence room, Sector 3. Investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in the blood on the detective's locker. Let's use a secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. Let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. We can tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. That one. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. I'm starting to get that sparkle in her eye. First, sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? with enter, see? Ah. Looks like that did the trick. Powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do we do that? With E, exciting, I know. Oh right, this was exclusive to the DS, wasn't it? So this like was a mini game. It's like, oh, here, use some DS functions. Because I think every DS game had to use the microphone for something, which is really funny. So this was the touchscreen, and then you blew on the powder. Oh, wow, it looks fun. It's fine. Don't go up your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow it away extra. It's basically fingerprinting, Mr. Right? Ah, you did it. Found one, but it looks nothing like a fingerprint. The animation, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person left us behind must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Calm down, it's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. Alright, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Look at the locked door again closely. Seems there are fingerprints outside of the bloody handprint as well. See if we can find a clear print. That one clearly there. There we go. Hey, a print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Matched up right away. We're not done yet. This is quite a process. No point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I think she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. Point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? Make a pretty good guess. Bloody handprint and the fingerprint are in different places, right? These prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would most likely find on this evidence locker? Oh, this is interesting. That's Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe, age 30, male. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Gave me this so what look. I guess it's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. That's where we got the luminol fluid reaction, right? Right. There was a handprint here. Okay. Wanna try using this? There you go, Rise of Sparkling. Check for prints. Let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. You say the probability of our hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, let's try to find prints where they weren't wiped away. Here. Get my best shot. Can't result in good prints. What? Try a different finger then. Finger there. Finger there. Am I clicking the same spot, or am I just a moron? I am. I was just clicking the same spot. It looks similar, but I didn't think so. Yeah, it is Marshall. So Marshall was dressed as Detective Goodman? Marshall was stealing evidence. These fingerprints. They... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall. It's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. Luminol reaction. Blood on the fingerprints are the same thing. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain. Why would Officer Marshall? Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. This is what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued next time on Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so that's interesting then. So save. So I'm gonna call it for the night here, but let's have a think about what the fuck happened. Title screen. So, what the fuck happened? 30 minutes before the crime. No. Yeah. No, 40 minutes before the supposed crime of the stabbing of Detective Goodman. Chief of Police Gant directed Miles Edgeworth to retrieve a knife from evidence and keep it in his office. 10 minutes after that, at 4:50, Officer Meekins entered evidence storage. Then at 5:15, Officer Jake Marshall, disguised as Detective Bruce Goodman, went into evidence storage. Officer Meekins confronted him, was attacked, had his hand injured, and and was knocked unconscious.
So who is 777 then?
There were 5 entries. There was the all 7s, which I think might be Marshall's ID. There's all 7s. Then there's Edgeworth, Meekins, Goodman, and then Meekins again. By the time of... So roundabouts when Edgeworth had gone into evidence storage, Detective Goodman was dead by then. Because he would have had to have been stuffed in the trunk of Edgeworth's car, and then Edgeworth would have had to drive 30 minutes down to the prosecutor's office to drop off his car for Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye to find. So, what I'm thinking is... Angel Star and... Angel Star and Jake Marshall were trying to reopen the investigation onto SL9, but Goodman and Chief of Police Gant were trying to stop them, and so Marshall killed Goodman. Stuffed him into Edgeworth's car, and then Angel Star drove back to the prosecutor's office in order to frame Lana Skye. It's getting hard to parse, but I think that's my picture of it right now. So by the look of it, Marshall killed Goodman, and Angel Star helped cover it up, trying to incriminate Lana Skye. For some reason, Lana Skye was in on it? Why was Lana Skye trying to take the rap for this? Unless Chief of Police Gant was the perpetrator in SL9, and the 3 of them were in on it together. And by taking the rap for Marshall, Marshall would be free to investigate more and bring Chief of Police Gant into. So maybe Gant killed Chief of Police Gant killed Bruce Goodman. Marshall found the body with the help of Lana and Angel. They were going to... Lana was going to take the fall so that Marshall and Angel could continue investigating and eventually try and out Officer Gant, or Chief of Police Gant. Maybe that's weird though. It doesn't quite sit right with me, but it seems like that's what it's leading to. Anyway, I guess we'll find out the truth of it in. We'll find out half the truth of it in the next one, and we'll find out the whole truth the day after, because that's how Ace Attorney goes. But I think I've got the shape of it. It's a bit wibbly and wobbly, but I think I have the shape of this case figured out. But we'll see where it goes. Thanks for hanging out. This was a little bit uneventful. But we've got some good detective work going, I think. So we'll see if we can keep it up next time. Tomorrow, I might be busy. Thursday, I'm probably going to be doing some work on some D&D stuff, and Friday I have D&D, but we'll see how it shakes out. I expected to get more work done after I got home from work today, but that didn't happen, so do a little bit more work tomorrow. Or do a little bit of work Thursday, and hopefully have a good couple encounters ready for my buddies on Friday. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. We'll continue Ace Attorney when